Yo,
Mr. Ponsalon.
what's up,
What's
dude?
good, bro?
So, beginning of 2018, when you started your YouTube channel, what was your, I guess, like goal? Like, what did you want to happen when you started?
Yo, honestly, I'm not one to like plan, and I know that sounds kind of like naive, but I believe that like anything can happen in your life, like something positive, something negative, you know what I'm saying? Like that can really change your life up. So people with like 5 year plans and just or even like a whole year plan, like it's cool to have goals and stuff, but I just kind of wanted to just go in with like a free mind kind of thing, right? So, but I did give myself one goal just for fun. Like even if I didn't hit it, I'd be like, whatever. And my goal was to hit at least 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And surprisingly enough, I was getting about 100 subscribers every month, and with like consistent uploads and stuff. And I was late by like 20 days, but I actually hit 1,000 like a year later, which so that was like pretty tight. But it's just so weird to think that it took me a year to get 1,000 subscribers, and at this rate right now, at this very day, I'm getting about 1,000 a day.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. I'm watching.
I know. And it's just insane, man. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think, yeah, man. Like, cause I never subscribed to your channel. Like I said earlier, I don't really watch producers on YouTube.
No, yeah,
Dude, there are a handful of people that I always pay attention to.
yeah,
Like I'm on Instagram, I don't follow anybody. On Twitter, I don't follow anybody.
yeah,
But I always check your page because I always like seeing the growth of people's stuff. And I know, and I saw for the longest time, like you were getting like maybe like 300 views, 400 views, like 1,000 would pop up, 2,000, 3,000
yeah.
would pop up
Huge.
here.
That was crazy.
And I was like, okay, he keeps uploading, he keeps growing, and I hella understand where you're coming from. Like when you upload a video and you're like you're hyped about like 100 views, 200 views, 300 views. It's like it's a big deal, and to
Yeah,
see somebody just continue, like, cuz a lot of people could upload videos, right, and see that they're
yeah,
only getting 100 views and be like, man, this isn't working, like I'm not getting 100,000
yeah,
views on every video.
yeah,
But the people who stick it out and just keep going and keep uploading, and they're just like, fuck it, let me just try something new. Fuck it, let me just keep going. Those are the
yeah,
people that always rise to the top because like they just have that consistency and that mindset that like this is eventually gonna something is eventually going to happen.
yeah.
I just need to
Keep
keep going.
going.
Where did you get the idea to start? I guess like flipping these songs, like, cause you started doing that on YouTube and not like this was way before TikTok.
Way before, man. And yeah. So I'm glad you brought that because I wanted to make sure to put this. So huge shout out to Aries. For anyone who's not listening, man, Aries is definitely one of like the first YouTube creators that or YouTube producers that really started a lot of this. And he made a video called, I think was it Post Malone? Is Post Malone or Childish Gambino? I know he did both of those, but he got that classic 24/7 lo-fi radio image of that girl studying, put the face on that, and was like, if Post Malone made lo-fi hip hop. And something about that was like, this is incredible. Like you could this little kernel of an idea could be spread out to so much more, right? So I always try to, like in interviews or comments or whatever, I'm always trying to give huge like respect to Aries. I'm not trying to like steal anything. He just inspired me to make more of those types of videos because he only did like two of them. And I was like, I want to capitalize on it because it's such a great, easy thumbnail. It's super easy to make, and people can automatically be like, oh, yeah, that's the lo-fi girl. Oh, whoa, Post Malone's face is on that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what really inspired me. But I did like 3 videos in the course of like almost a year of me doing those lo-fi videos until I realized, you know what? Out of all my videos, these are the ones that are getting the most traction. And you remember at that time, the most traction was like maybe this video had 300 more views than the other. You know what I'm saying? So it was very low to really see and judge it. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna rock with it. They're fun to make. They're easy, and I have a plug to get acapellas. So when I found that out, I was like, yo, I'm getting acapellas to everything. It's funny, man. I don't know why. I can't really explain it, but like I mean, obviously working with certain artists and vocalists would be an absolute dream. Like first person that comes to my mind is like Callie, who's just like I would die to like work with her or something like that, you know. But for the most part, man, like like getting a Drake placement is easily like the farthest thing from my list. You know what I'm saying? Like from my top list, stuff like that. Like I'm not really huge interested in like working with artists at the moment, obviously, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you can't be doing the same thing for so long. But yeah, I think just right now, like I really just like because something that I know you can relate to, it's like I overproduce constantly.
Yeah.
Like I love adding as many instrumentals as possible,
Mm-hmm.
or sorry, instruments as possible and layers and everything. And I know like that's where I get inspiration from you because you do that all the time. And
Yeah.
I think people that say like, oh, less is more. It's true and it works for vocalists, but like I don't like limiting my sound. So when I do these remixes, I can throw a whole bunch of different melodies on top of a comethazine acapella, and like I'm cool with it. But obviously, there's no way in hell I would send that beat to comethazine or
Right.
anybody and they'd be like, yeah, dude, let me hop on.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I feel like I'm in the same boat. Like trying to
Yeah.
get a placement at this time, it's not. It's just not. It doesn't sound that exciting to me. Like I don't
Yeah.
really want. Like yeah, I'd love to work with Drake or Kendrick or any
Yeah,
artist that I'm
of
a
course.
fan of.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I really enjoy like making these videos
Yeah.
and just uploading them like just the way they are.
Yeah, like I'm honestly really happy, man, that you're taking your music to like the whole like Spotify realm and just really just uploading your music as music to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like rather than like I do type beats, but like, you don't do type beats or anything like that. I know you sell beats, but I don't know. Like I think that's like really cool, man. That's definitely like, a lot of other producers are really going like the whole just selling beats to rappers route kind of thing.
And I just think it just proves that there's just different ways to go about making music and being a successful quote unquote producer. Like you don't have to go the traditional route of working with
Yeah.
artists in the studio. Like you could literally be in your bedroom making videos or just making beats and putting them out and making a living that way. Like you don't there's no
Yeah.
traditional way anymore.
Yo, it's not, man. It's what a time to be alive, man. It's insane.
Like
Yeah.
we're lucky. Like if we were living in the past of like where you had to work with artists, I don't know if I would survive. Like, you know?
Dude, it's so scary, man. Like I think about that a lot. Like I'm I'm very like I overthink just everything, and like I think about really in this recent, blow up season, this recent success, man. I'm even thinking to myself like, dude, like do I even deserve this? Like there's producers that are literally grinding out like 20 beats a day in their bedroom, type beats or whatever, and they might not be getting hurt or something. Like bro, like I'm not gonna front right now. I make maybe like 3 beats a week, bro. Like I do not make a lot of music just because I'm so busy editing YouTube videos, or I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I got like a wife and 2 dogs that are literally like children, and so they take up a lot of my time in a positive way. But I'm just not one of those people who just like lock the door, make beats, blah blah blah. So like I do feel like a little bit of guilt, like man, bro, like I even like deserve this right now, but nah, it's cool, man.
I think that's interesting because I feel the same way. Like I know a lot of
Really?
producers that do spend way more time making
Yeah.
music than I do, and I feel like I spend a majority of my time editing. Like I feel
Editing.
like a majority of my time isn't even on the music, which is like the bread
So
and butter of
funny.
what I do. But it's mostly on like
So
editing.
funny.
It's funny,
Dude,
yeah.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, bro, because I'm about to freaking roast you because I just don't get you, man. Like I look at the type of person you are. I watch your videos, right? And especially like I don't know how many people listen to the podcast, but I listen to the pod every episode, right? So I'm familiar with the type of person and lifestyle that you live. And yet you are like so nonchalant about the beats that you make. Like, bro, you're easily one of the best producers on YouTube. Like, I'm not just saying that. Like, the amount of diversity that you have with the beats and the quality of them and the production style and just the amount of layers that you have and all this type of stuff, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, do you feel that way about your beats? Like, or no, like when you make a beat, you're like, yeah, cool, man, just made another beat, like all good.
I think it's just that's how I hate to say that I feel like that about it, but yeah, I think it's just because I've been doing it for so long,
Yeah,
and not
yeah.
even to say like I think I'm the greatest producer, I make the best beats, because obviously I'm my worst critic, and
Of
I don't
course.
I think all my beats aren't at the level that I would like them to be,
Really?
but I think it's just because I've been doing it for so long that it's just
Yeah.
like it's just a part of what I do throughout the day, so I don't really. I don't know. It's I guess it's hard to. I made this analogy in a Q&A that I just recently did. Like it's kind of like your weight or just your appearance,
Yeah, I was
because
bringing
you
that
see
up. Yeah.
yourself all the time. Like you don't notice like the changes in the way you are until somebody says like, oh shit, you're looking like a little bit heavier than the last time I saw
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think it's the same way. I just make music, and then whatever people think is good, then they think is good, and whatever they don't like, they don't like. So
Yeah,
I try not to stress about it too much because there are too many things in my life that I stress about that aren't even worth stressing over.
yeah, yeah.
So I just try not to make music one of those things because I don't want it to be that thing that kind of makes me upset or like that stresses me out. Because like I don't. There's not many things that I'm really into, and like I would hate to like stress about music and not have it in my life, you know.
I
So
feel that.
going back to making content. So like what made you want to go on TikTok and start making content there?
So oddly enough, me and my wife, we love watching YouTube constantly from comedians to like Cody Ko and all these dudes, right? And we watch like I think they're called commentators, right? And so like I don't know if you know who like Drew and Danny are, but they do like commentaries and stuff like that. Um, so anyways, their big joke was to talk about TikTok and talk about how cringy it was, right? And I was a huge Vine head like back in the day. Like Vine in my high school was freaking the best thing ever. Like it was great. So now that TikTok is kind of like the quote unquote new Vine or like the best new thing or whatever, I remember looking at it with all these other comedians roasting about it and all these people talking trash on it. And I was agreeing. I was like, yo, dude, this is like whack. This is all cringy, right? Blah, blah, blah. But then my sister-in-law, she made a TikTok and she literally like she was like painting on like a pair of jeans. Like she painted Rick and Morty on like a pair of jeans and she put like a used sound on TikTok for it. And it did really well. It got like 11,000 likes. And I was like, whoa. And then she did more. I was like, yo, this is like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is like a new thing or whatever. And I want to get more into it. I was like, there has to be something here. I was like, it's videos, which I do, and it's music, which is what I do. Like there has to be some type of way I can connect with this, right? So based off of that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start it. And I was like, okay, but I'm gonna follow that same Vine platform where Vine was 6 seconds, and I know you can upload up to like 1 minute on TikTok. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep all my videos 10 seconds or less. And just because I know in this day and age, like we just said earlier, like it's a time to be alive, but people's attention spans are like smaller than an ant. Like it's so small. I was hearing, I think Kyle on the podcast or video, he's saying like if he doesn't see something with literally a second that he's not interested, he'll swipe. You know, we all do that. So I was like, how do I grab people's attention as fast as possible? You know, that's why like a lot of my YouTube videos, as you've seen, they're like really short. They're all like 5 minutes or under. You know what I'm saying? Because I fear that people are just getting bored or whatever. So, anyways, that's kind of where I came up with that idea. I was like, let me just think of a super kind of like just really dumb idea, really basic. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you've seen any of my TikToks, but they're super like I don't know how to describe them, basic. Really, that's it. And so yeah, I kind of wanted to make it almost like Vine, almost like funny a little bit. And in my YouTube videos, I tweak my face and do like funny memes and shit like that. So when I found out you could, I was like, oh shoot, dude, they got the long face meme filter on TikTok. I'm definitely gonna use that. And yeah, man. So my first beat was a Jonas Brothers remix. I did "If Jonas Brothers Were SoundCloud Rappers," and I did it over like a Juice World type beat, and like surprisingly sounded like really good. And I went to a good friend a party of hers, and she like played it, and like a lot of people were like, yo bro, like this is like really cool. And so I was like, okay, that should be the one that I'll first post or whatever. And like I was surprised that it did so well within a day. I don't remember the exact plays and likes it got or whatever, but I remember it did really good to the point where I did another one the next day, and that one did really bad. That got like nothing. I was like, okay, maybe this TikTok thing is like a total hit or miss or whatever. And then I posted one more. It was an Ariana Grande 7 Rings Lo-Fi Flip. And once I released that and I saw how well it did within like a few hours, I was like, okay, there's something here.
Damn, dude, it's so crazy to hear that it happened. It happened so fast. Like it just like some
Right.
people like you know like people on YouTube or people on TikTok even like they'll make I don't know
Hundreds.
hundreds of TikToks that won't do well at all, and then it takes that one. But for you, it just took like that you know those first three,
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think you just knew, like, you've seen it before. You knew what people were into. Like, they like the short
Yeah,
instant, content. I think,
definitely.
dude, TikTok, like, when I first, because I didn't know anything about TikTok before I downloaded it, right?
Yeah, yeah, me
And then
neither.
when I found out that you were like blowing up on it, like, Jay hit me up. He was like, "Yo, dude, he's fucking killing it on TikTok right now." So I downloaded it. I
Oh
looked.
wait, really? Jay was on TikTok before or something?
No, no, no. He just saw your Instagram. He saw
Oh,
that.
word.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got you.
And he was like, "Yo, he's blowing up." So I checked it out, and then I was like, "Yo, this is like the perfect platform for you specifically, because it's like,
Wow.
just because of the style of video that you do, and the
Yeah,
type of editing that you can do on it, like, within the app itself." I
yeah.
was just like, "Dude, this is like, the timing of this is crazy."
And I'm thank you, man. And I'm just like I'm a huge believer in timing,
Yeah.
and not to get like crazy religious or anything, but I truly believe that like everything happens for a reason. Like
Mhm.
even bad stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
even stuff that makes us like question about life, or if we question God, like why did something happen? Like it really does happen, right? And so with all that being said, I do believe in the timing of it. And even though all this has happened in literally 3 weeks, which is just mind blowing. I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel lucky because, as you know, I've been grinding consistently,
Yeah.
nonstop for the past year and a half on YouTube
Yeah.
with a dedicated concept of videos, and I believed in my content, and I could have easily given up, man. You know how many times I was like thinking like, dude, if you really look at my videos and you look at how low my sub count is and my views, you can be like, bro, this fool's wasting his time, or
Yeah.
this guy's just a total like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But the thing that kept me going was like, if I'm not doing YouTube, like, what else am I gonna do? Like,
Right.
this is it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't go to college. I absolutely hated school with an absolute passion. Like, I don't know how you felt about high school, but man, like, the day I graduated was like the greatest day of my life.
Right.
And so I was just like, dude, if I don't do YouTube, like, there's nothing else.
Yeah, and I think the probably the most important thing to remember for, like, anybody listening, I think,
Anyway, yeah,
it's to it's just to know, like, what do you want to happen from it. And I hate to reference Gary Vee, because I feel like at this point it's kind of cliche to reference Gary
yeah,
Vee, but it's really true. Like, if you think about, like, what you want to happen, like, what kind of result do you want from the work that you're doing, and if you understand that and you work backwards of, like, obtaining that goal, that's the best way to go about it, and that's how you know if you're working hard and smart at the same time.
yeah.
Like, so I think that's the first thing that people should really find out. Like, what is it that you want to happen? Do you want to get a placement with Drake? Cool. Maybe you should make 10 beats a day and you should have
Yeah,
folders
very
on
true.
deck. Do you want to be, like, popping on YouTube? Okay, maybe making 10 beats a day isn't the best, because it's going to take away time from editing, you
Dude,
know?
100%, man. That's a
So,
great point, man. Yeah, I never thought, because like easily, like if someone jumped me in a studio right now and was like, "Yo, man, you can meet with Drake, playing some beats," I'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't my goal. You know what I'm
right.
saying? But my goal was to, I don't want to say make it on YouTube, but obviously to get to a certain following to the point where I can lead to making a living off of this. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
for sure.
No, dude, no, 100%, man. Hey, do you mind if I go to the restroom real quick? All right, cool. Hold it, right.
Come on, bro. You gotta pee. Who wants to pee? Who has time to pee? Come on, bro.